What's going on, guys? I'm Jaye the Black. Shout out to everyone that's tuning in. I randomly came across this story. Actually, it was a interview on the Pivot podcast. And NBA player or former NBA player Michael Beasley was on it. And they said they wanted to talk to him about what he had going on. But the conversation went into about why he is sort of self-isolated. When I saw the clip here, okay, this is just a clip. When I saw this clip here, I kind of felt like they didn't really understand him. And they don't understand why men are isolating themselves nowadays, why men are more introverted, why men are not out and about or not extroverted. You know, they're not partying, they're not trying to be seen like some people, they're not letting their opinions be known every 5 minutes. Michael Beasley lives more of an isolated life. It doesn't mean that he doesn't go out, he doesn't spend time with family members or do things with his children, but he got emotional while they were talking to him because apparently he feels like he doesn't have any good people around him, and admitted that people stole from him, even I believe his own mother, who passed some time ago. And I looked on his Instagram and you could see that maybe there was a rift because of it, and it never truly got repaired the way that he wanted it to from what it looks like. And he misses her. And listen, you know, we go through things, we have issues with people, but once that person is gone, they're gone. You know, there's no coming back. But that doesn't mean that whatever situations have happened with family members, it still doesn't affect him to this day. Okay. Now, I'm going to play this clip and I'm going to let y'all listen to it and judge it for yourself.
Can't do it alone, bro.
Reach out because
Go out.
you
Go,
have
hold
to
on,
change,
Go out
change
where?
the narrative.
Go out where?
Go out, talk to people, interact with people. Like, bro, real talk. I'll call us out, us three. Bro, you be in Miami?
Y'all party, I don't party, bro.
No, we don't party, bro. I'm talking about you have kids, I have kids. Come to my house. We can get bounce houses for the kids. We can sit back on the porch, drink a couple beers, drink some wine, hang out. Like, bro, that's not a normal, successful man's life to sit up in the house like that. Like, you gotta find good people, and us three can be good people.
That's why I said that I don't think that they really understood his mindset. Maybe they didn't know his initial story of why he's more isolated. But I think that people got to understand men go through things, and more men are isolating themselves because they don't want to deal with the energies that they get from people, and just their overall just not wanting to deal with the issues that they've dealt with family members, with other people.
You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, it's not, that's not sustainable,
like, no
bro.
disrespect to what y'all got going on. I've been trying to find good people for so long. I'm tired, bro.
I would say this. It's a 100%, bro. It's so okay to be tired, though.
I got, you know what I'm saying?
You ain't got nothing left. You ain't got nothing left to give
I'll
people.
tell you this, bro. I'll be it. Like, whatever you need, dog. Like, you just want to talk. Like, I for sure can't hoop with you. I'll go out there and pass that hoe. Like, what we're saying is, bro, like, we want to be those people. Bringing you here wasn't about this. I wanted to talk basketball and hoops. But, dog, folks love you, dog. Nobody want to see you go through this.
I got me a Beasley jersey out the motherfucking house because I was down here when he got drafted.
I think the thing is, man, like so many times as black men, we are asked because of talent to carry everybody. We are not made to carry everybody. Black women are asked to carry everybody. They are not made to carry everybody. Dog, it takes a fucking village, bro.
I wanted y'all to see that for yourself, just to get the gist of what's going on. Now, according to this TMZ article, former NBA hoop star Michael Beasley, the number 2 overall pick in the 2008 draft behind Derrick Rose, opened up about how failed relationships in his life have made him insular and distrusting of people, and has had a negative effect on his mental health. Beasley joined former NFL players Ryan Clark, Channing Crowder, and Fred Taylor on the Pivot podcast for a candid conversation where he fought through tears and dished on everything from his mother stealing from him to living an isolated life where he only plays basketball and sits home alone. You see, but you got to understand, that's the future. I think that what people don't understand is men are becoming introverted to the point to where they only want to be by themselves. But this is what society has bred with this attention slore culture. Everybody want attention. Everybody want to be in front of cameras. And what the third crazy thing is that you have these young guys like a Michael Beasley who did not have, I feel, the necessary people around him to guide him in the direction that would have kept him from getting into these pitfalls. Now, the situation with his mother, listen, she's no longer here. I'm not going to delve too deep into that, but that can negatively affect a young man's psyche. When you feel like you're being taken advantage of by the one person you wouldn't feel like would do that. And I think that his psyche had never recovered from that. Now, I remember Michael Beasley when he was in college at Kansas State, when he was like this can't miss prospect. That's how far back I remember watching his college basketball games. Right? He was the next great basketball player coming out of high school, going into college and into the NBA. So I'm sure he had a lot of people trying to hang on to him, had a lot of people use him to the point to where he is now. I don't know no one that ain't stole from me, said Beasley said. Everybody except for my kids stole from me. Every step of the way, I asked for help. The conversation took a turn in ways going from an interview to an intervention. Clark, Chowder, and Taylor pleaded with Beasley, telling him isolating himself from the world because he's been mistreated in the past isn't the solution. You know what? I agree with that. I don't think that Michael Beasley, should isolate himself. I don't think that that's the answer. But again, he has to find healing because obviously he hasn't been able to find any healing. He hasn't been able to find any healing to the point to where now he doesn't deal with anybody. And he said it himself that he looked for people to help him and they would never help him, or he found the wrong people to help him. So this is a guy that's really, his psyche has been damaged due to the amount of usury in his life. And he's still trying to heal from that. He's still trying to find himself and figure out who he is and what he wants in life. But I think that Michael Beasley, at some point, things may change for him. He is still a young man. He's still a guy that has a lot of life to live. I want him to do better. I want him to enjoy the life that he has. He's a father. Maybe he enjoys being around his children and doing things with his children. Not everything is about going out and because Michael said, he said, listen, I'm not a partying guy. I don't go out and party. And it was like, no, we're not talking about partying. He lives a different life. And again, I don't think that it's necessarily a bad thing. He's staying out of trouble. He is being more attentive to his children. That seems to be his main priority. He still plays basketball, which is still his passion, because he has videos on his Instagram where he's still playing basketball. I just think that, he wants to do his own thing, but still find healing. I don't think anything is wrong with that, even though I do think that, it's good to get out and do things and travel. But again, it's up to him to want those things. I don't think he necessarily should be shamed for it because he has a story. The men even offered help with Chowder, who lives near Michael Beasley, telling the hooper he loved to hang and chill while their kids play together. You have kids, I have kids, come to my house. We can get the bouncy houses for the kids. We can sit back on the porch, drink a couple of beers, drink some wine, hang out. Crowder pleaded. They spelled this man Crowder's name wrong. You recall Beasley was heavily touted coming out of Kansas State, where he averaged 26 points a game during his one and only season. The 6'9" forward was selected right after Derrick Rose in the NBA draft with the number 2 overall pick. Beasley was often compared to Kevin Durant, as both guys would basically get a bucket at will, but their pro careers have gone in different directions. KD's one of the greatest hoopers ever. Meanwhile, Beasley's become an NBA journeyman. He played 11 seasons in the NBA, spending time with the Timberwolves, the Knicks, the Bucks, the Rockets, the Suns, and the Lakers. But he never really established himself as a premier superstar in the NBA, something many thought was a certainty. This interview sheds light on some of the awful things Michael's lived through and gives a peek at a person, not just a player. The last time Beasley was on an NFL NBA roster was in 2020 as part of the Brooklyn Nets, but his contract with the team was voided after he tested positive for the CV, which is crazy. I hope he's able to find healing. I hope he's able to really get himself on the right path, because he has a lot to live for. He has children. He's still a young man. I still believe that basketball could still be in his future. He could still go overseas and play basketball. Maybe he can get another opportunity in the NBA. Maybe he goes to the Big Three. It'd be cool to have him in the Big Three. I'm pretty sure Ice Cube would love to have him in the Big Three. It just ultimately is up to him. But you can tell this guy has been scarred psychologically by the people around him, to the point to where he's isolating himself. That tells you how deep it goes. It probably goes from the women that he has dated, and I already told you about his mother, probably other family members, friends who are no longer around him because they can't use him anymore. These young men deal with this a lot. They deal with people who do nothing but use them. It reminds me of Trent Richardson, who played in the NFL, or running back. He talked about how family members had Netflix accounts that they ran up debit cards or credit cards or whatnot. And they were using his cards and just buying a whole bunch of stuff, trying to help everybody in the family. You can't help everybody. And Ryan Clark said that. You can't help it. You can't help everybody. All you can do is help yourself and put yourself in the best position possible to be successful. And hopefully Michael Beasley's able to do that, because he's still relatively a young guy. He has children. There's a lot of life to be lived. But the isolation part, sometimes you need to be isolated. Sometimes you need to step back and just focus on the things that matter. Being visible in the public is not important. I'm pretty sure Michael Beasley goes out every day. He doesn't just sit around the house. To them, sitting around the house is not being visible on social media or going out to this party or this event, not having a podcast. Like, I'm pretty sure that Michael does things, but he just don't want to be around anybody that ain't his kids or anyone else that he's really, really cool with, that's in his circle. And I don't think anything is wrong with that. But that is what happens when people are not able to allow others to heal in their own way. Again, I have no problem with them wanting to help him, but you have to understand that men are going to isolate themselves when they're looking to heal. Instead of him going and getting into a toxic relationship, or him trying to be cool with people, and then they could just blow up and just be the worst thing ever. He's saying for the betterment of my mental health, I'm going to just be to myself. And I don't think anything is wrong with that. But let me know what you think in the comment section below. Make sure you like this video and share it. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And I'll see y'all next video.